Hey everybody, and we're back. So, let's get going.
Doing our recruiting run. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Hey lady,
Well, she looks familiar.
what are you doing hiding out here? You should have known it would end up this way. Especially when I don't move the microphone.
Ever since that day.
Oh, she's got claws. Oh, thank you, Watch. I met my move goal. I moved my microphone and got my move goal. Let me show you how pleased I am to see you again. Okay, I don't know what that means.
Sounds like
Either an attack or...
an attack of some sort.
Let's defend. If you only defend. Let's defend. Kinda want to take my time and get it, like, what she's gonna say down. I believe this is how to properly defend oneself. Okay, she's gonna defend. That's attack. You shouldn't feel too proud of yourself just yet. That kind of sounds like a normal attack. What do you think?
Sounds like a normal attack to me.
Let's take that risk. Oh, goodness. I'll help you remember your past. Oh, that sounds like a death blow. What the? This is taking too long. I really don't know.
An attack or death blow.
Defense, okay.
Really?
Good night, Watari. Okay, yeah, defend. Please attack her back this time. Thank you.
She should be dead by now, but
This is taking too long. Okay, she's gonna defend.
yes, we can attack.
Oh, jeez. Sorry, no effect. You know, I'm just gonna attack. I'm impatient. I'm pretty sure you have to win this fight if you want to recruit her. So you've improved your form.
It was the only way to get by.
So it is.
Ayame, why did you come here? It shouldn't have to be you.
I came to kill you. You were so taken by that woman's words. I'll put you out of your misery. Your life has much meaning now that... Sorry. Your life has as much meaning now as an old snakeskin. You deserve to be destroyed by my hand. Oh, look. He thinks I'll just wander away. Do you think you... Why am I cannot read her. Oh my gosh. Do you think you would spare me from a meaningless life by leaving me here like this?
If you're set on killing me, then your life does have meaning.
But I will kill you. Get it through your thick skull.
If it happens, it happens. Sorry for the trouble, but make room for one more.
Alright, we got a murderer. Let's just go. Okay, so we have... What?
Oh, I was gonna say, so what's his story?
I actually don't really know. I think he... I don't actually really know his story. I know he has something to do with the Blight family. I don't think it's... For some reason, I think it was something to do with Jillia, but I honestly don't know.
So, like, he was loyal to the Blights when everybody else abandoned them, and because he made a promise?
I think so. I don't actually... You know, I actually don't really remember. But anyway, I think we have one more person to... one more star to recruit. So we need to get out of here. It should be a pretty quick trip, actually. It was actually a really quick trip in, so...
I mean, strictly speaking, that's not entirely true. We have one more star that we can recruit up to this point. That is optional to recruit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but we can't do anything about the ones that, like, the stars that just come. We can't do anything about that.
Exactly.
And then we have a couple non-stars. Come on.
Yeah, there's a couple other recruits that are non-star people, so we'll get to them.
There's zombie unicorns in this cave anyway. That doesn't even make sense.
Neither do zombie unicorns in general.
I guess it's true.
I mean, how can things that cry rainbows have zombie forms?
So Franz and Ruby actually aren't too bad. I'm not really sure I like them separated from each other. Like, Fubar I always feel like can hold his own. But Ruby, I don't really feel like she's very good on her own, so... if I use her, she's usually paired with Franz. And yes, Ruby is female. Ghost slug. More like... see-through slug.
I mean, it's just a name.
Ghost. Yeah, but do ghosts have organs?
It depends what type of ghost we're talking about. So, sorry, just the question about ghosts having organs got me thinking about, like, animals that might be referred to as, like, ghosts, something or others that actually would have organs, but they're referred to as ghosts anyway. Which then got me to thinking about this picture that I was shown yesterday of dolphins in shallow water. And the dolphins were swimming in a circle in the shallow water and were making
yeah.
They were
dust
storing
circles.
Yeah, they were making a mud circle, yeah, like where there was a circle of mud, of dust in the water. And so apparently there was a school of fish in the middle of it, and the school of fish then couldn't see out of the circle, and so to get out of it, they would then jump over the mud and into the waiting mouths of the dolphins, who were right there to catch them.
Yeah, it's a specialized pod of dolphins that are doing it, I think in the Keys, the Florida Keys?
I don't know.
Yeah, they go in the shallow and they go in circles to kick it up. And, it's not one specific pod, but it's just, it's unique to the pods in that area. I have seen that, it's really cool.
Yeah, it just took me by surprise. I was like, really? That's kind of awesome.
It kind of reminds me of the episode of Octonauts where they were talking about spinner dolphins. According to Octonauts, the spinner dolphins communicate by, like, one form of their communication is how they jump in and out of the water. I thought that was interesting. Octonauts is generally pretty accurate, so I kind of have to believe it. I've never actually heard anything on Octonauts that was false, but...
I mean, is that like a edutainment game, kind of like Project Neptune?
No, Octonauts is actually a preschooler's TV show, but it's actually written by the story... Let me back up. The stories written for this show are done between, obviously story writers and two professional marine biologists. And so, like I said, these episodes are generally very accurate as far as the animals. They teach you about animals, like spinner dolphins, and I mean, they go pretty far. Like, they actually talked about the spookfish. They've talked about the giant squid. They've talked about the cookie cutter shark, actually. In fact, there was one episode, every episode I've ever seen, I knew about the animal ahead of time except for one. And I had never heard of this animal. And so, oh my god, what was it? Was it a tree lobster? Was that what it was? Well, anyways, the episode was so weird. I had never heard of these things. And I was like, what? So I looked it up. And apparently it was a real animal, and in the episode, they're like, there's 17 of us that live under this bush. And it was actually based on a real-life event, that they thought this species of bug was extinct until they found 17 of them living under a bush in the middle of on this rock in the middle of the ocean. And I was like, oh my god. Well, it turns out then they, they didn't mention this in the episode, but the people who found these, I think it was tree lobsters, but they're not real lobsters. They're bugs that look like little lobsters. But they've actually since gotten more of these and repopulated the species. So there's more than 17 now. But I was just like, wow, that's actually really interesting. Like, yes, it's a preschooler show, but they teach you quite a lot on the show that's pretty dang accurate. It just surprises me.
So
like, they had an episode about a siphonophore, of crying out loud. I'm like, seriously, you're gonna teach kids about giant siphonophores?
Well, so here's the thing, though. You just said that it's a giant bug, not a lobster. It just kind of looks like a lobster, but isn't that all a lobster is, really, when you get down to it? It's just a seafaring bug?
Well, lobsters are, oh my god, my brain just died. Starts with an A.
Don't know.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this is sad. Like, I knew I was sick, but I shouldn't be this sick that I don't even know what the freaking word I'm... Arthropod.
Sure, yes, they are arthropods. That sounds right. But don't they have that in common with like standard insects that are on land, right?
Yes, but I mean, they're not in the same classification as lobster.
No, that's
even though,
true.
yes, arthropods are all there. Okay. Anyways.
What was I gonna say? Oh, we'll keep going if you have something more to say first.
No, I was just asking who we... I think I know who we need to bring with us for the next recruit, but...
Yeah, you know 2 out of the 3 people, and we're getting the third one. So.
Okay.
What was I gonna... Oh, so lobsters. I was reading a little while back. Do you know when they became popular to eat?
No.
So, or rather, I should say, when they became like a high-end, high-caliber, like a fine dining type of a thing. It turns out it's only really kind of in our grandparents or parents' generations that this happened.
Interesting.
So, prior to World War II, it was actually considered basically a sign of poverty if there were lobster shells outside your home. And it was apparently the type of thing where like you'd go to like homeless people or like people with like hovels, and there would be like, piles of lobster shells inside their homes, and it'd be kind of a sign that they're really poor because that's all they could afford to eat, because lobsters were kind of viewed as the bottom feeders, trash, vermin of the sea. And that's how it was for a long time. Well, World War II comes around, and the U.S. military is looking for cheap rations for a world war. And so they're like, what can we get for really cheap? What's really easy to get? And the Northeast, Atlantic seaboard was just filled with lobsters. And so they were like, okay, let's just get as many lobsters as we can. And so they just got as many lobsters as they could and started canning them. And so they just canned, tens of thousands, millions of lobsters and started sending them over with the GIs to eat overseas. And the GIs were like, this isn't actually that bad. And so they all came back to the U.S. afterwards, and they all had a taste for lobster. And so they started asking for lobster when they got back, and all the restaurants were like, seriously? You want lobster? And enough people started asking for it that eventually they started putting it on the menu, and pretty quickly became the upscale food item that it is today.
That's really interesting. I love how wars completely flip things over.
Oh yeah, it's so weird how that happens sometimes. How either it'll take something that is utterly abundant and just flip it into this upscale, scarce thing, supposedly. When really it's, or at least at the time it wasn't. I mean, since then they've become a bit more scarce, but yeah, it's just bizarre.
It's like, I don't remember if it was World War I or World War II that changed the idea that red and pink were no longer masculine, they were feminine. Because pink and red were considered masculine, and after, I think it was World War I can't remember the exact reason, but after that, pink was considered feminine instead of blue, so it completely flipped. And so like today people are like, oh, pink, that's a girl's color. I'm like, yeah, but like 100 years ago it was considered a boy's color.
Yeah, I don't put much stock in a lot of that stuff. It's like, whatever, it's just a color.
Well, because of my autism, I don't understand any of that concept. It's pink. I don't really care if it's feminine or masculine, but anyways. Here's some we haven't seen in a while.
Alanis?
Melville and Elliot too.
Wow, Alanis, what are you doing here?
And you too, in this place.
Alanis, the St. Loa Knight?
Hugo?
Yeah.
Since just standing there.
Yeah, you said you were moving, but the Great Hollow?
No. What should I explain first? Oh, Okay, sorry, that sentence really threw me off. Little one Alanis, are these your friends? Bring them around later. We'll eat the best manticore? Yes, we'll eat that. You bet. I wouldn't miss that for anything. Thanks, Uncle.
Uncle?
Man, Alanis, we thought you were weird, but geez. That's where you get it from.
What did you just say? You're related to the Lizard Clan?
He's not my real uncle. I call him that because of all the nice things he did for me after we were brought here. It's a long story. Yeah, she's probably been caught up in this war. Sorry, I don't know my microphone again. That's what happened. We moved, but then the battles broke out. We were screwed. Whoa! Okay.
Sheesh.
That's one way to put it.
It's hard to believe you're a prisoner of the Lizard Clan.
Yeah, I'm a prisoner, but it's not that bad. I can go anywhere in the Great Hollow. I was scared of the Lizard Clan at first, but not now. The worst part is that my father can't run his business.
Hugo, see if the Lizard Clan will let you bring her family to an enemy castle.
This is another reason I like Hugo, because this whole scene makes a heck of a lot more sense.
Yeah, it really does. The Lizard Clan has soldiers at an enemy too. Maybe her family could stay there instead.
I can't. I'm just kidding.
I'll try talking to them. Leave it to me. Really? All right.
Can you fix it so my parents can leave too?
Let's see what they say. Hang on, I'll go ask right now.
I mean, how could the Lizard Clan say no to Hugo?
Well, I think it starts with an N and ends with an O.
Very well. Good luck at an enemy castle. Don't eat anything funky. Thanks for everything, Uncle. You've been so sweet. I won't forget you.
No one can make friends like you can, Alanis.
You think so? I'm nothing special.
Hugo, thanks for your help. You're a real leader.
I just love how Rhodey and Sasarai are just standing there like, okay.
You should thank that soldier right over there. His words made the difference.
We became lifelong friends right off the bat. Uncle.
Don't cry, Silver Maiden Alanis. This isn't a goodbye forever. I know we'll meet again someday.
What? Aren't we welcoming her back?
No, it's like we, the lizard and her, and the collective we.
I'm not crying, Swordsman of Rage, Melville. I know I'll see you again.
Oh,
And I'll see you too, right, Swordsman of Wind Elliot?
that's right. The three of us will always be friends.
With Uncle! Does he get to be one too? St. Noah Knights forever!
The three Zexa Knights.
What's this? I didn't know you were a knight, little one, Alanis.
All three of them are knights. I've seen them in action.
Humans, you don't rely on your eyes much. Do you? You live in a freaking cave! I have to go tell my parents the good news. An enemy castle! Yay! That's much better! I might need a little time. Wait for me. Alrighty. Okay, so now we have all of the stars that we need to worry about. The rest that are coming, you know, will just come.
Yep.
So...
there is another thing to recruit here.
yes, that's what I thought. Okay, I think it's down this hall.
The monster area.
I think... oh, you know what? I should have probably brought more people with me, but you should be okay. Famous last words?
Should be fine. We got this.
Sasarai. Yeah, we got Sasarai. That's all that really matters.
It's not a concern.
Ooh,
We haven't died recently.
yeah.
We also haven't saved recently.
Sir, have you seen anybody around here? Watch out for monsters. Okay, so the person we're looking for, do you remember exactly which hallway they're down, or are we just gonna look for them?
I have no recollection.
Okay, I don't either. Sorry guys, this is gonna be a bit of a... can we find them? Hey dude. You're not allowed here right now, I'm sorry. Okay, well it's not here.
It's, let's see here. It's the hallway that Ghetto did not access in Chapter 1.
Yeah, well, that was like 6 months ago by this point.
No, it was just a few weeks ago, I think, actually, in the chronology. Also, 6 months? You think it was just that long ago that we were doing Chapter 1 of Ghetto?
We've been playing this for a while.
Let's see
Okay, here we go. Let's adopt him in an enemy castle. I guess maybe her. Because it's wearing pink, it must be a girl.
Let's see here. So we finished Ghetto Chapter 1, the recording of Ghetto Chapter 1. You want to guess the date?
No. I guessed 6 months already, so...
Do you want to know the date?
Yeah.
On June 28th, 2017.
Wow, we've been doing this a while.
Yeah, so you got the 6 months part pretty much right. You just needed to add another 12 months to that.
Yeah. Wow, guys, we really need to speed these up, don't we?
No, we've been releasing an episode a week pretty faithfully here. I think entirely faithfully, in fact.
I think there's only been a couple weeks I've missed because either A, I ran out of videos and something happened, or B, I apparently don't know how to push the publish button.
Yeah, I think there's been like 2 or 3, but at this point, 80 episode run, basically. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's funny because YouTube changed the way that they once in a while they completely revamp
The
like
back
their
end
publish screen and stuff like that. And the newest one is just a real butt. Like I really don't like it. And I swear, a couple weeks ago, I know I missed it, and I didn't even know I missed it till somebody messaged me. They're like, "Why didn't you release one?" I'm like, "I did," and I went back in there. It's just sitting there like, "Are you ready to publish?" I'm like, "Oh gosh, darn it!" I was like, "I know I pushed the button." So now I'm like really careful. Like, did I push that button? And like, it's really annoying too because I used to be able to upload, publish, and put it on the playlist all on one page, but now I have to do it on 3 different pages. Like, they're like, "Oh, our new system only allows you to do one thing at a time." I'm like, thanks. Okay, so where to next?
Oh, next location, Mount Sinai.
Okay, well, let me get more party members.
Yeah, I would before going there.
Yeah, because I don't know what the monsters are like there right now. That's one of those places that keeps updating based on the situation, so...
And as far as we know, incidentally, these recruits are completely optional, and they are not stars, and they are not necessary to recruit anybody else subsequently except for each other.
Yeah, so the other thing is we have to be doing these in order, too. The dogs are in a specific order.
Yep. So you have to go through and get the one before the next one will be unlocked to be able to get. So... yeah, 6 months ago, we were finishing Chris Chapter 3.
Who else do I want to bring with me? We'll bring Sergeant Joe. I like Sergeant Joe.
Let's see.
I actually started recording Monster Rancher EVO, but I haven't started uploading it yet because I need to edit the first 2. I don't understand, like, it's so funny, I'll push the record button, and I for some reason, I feel like it's gonna start recording when I hit the record button, but for some reason it picks it up a few seconds beforehand, so it's like all of this talk instead, like, am I ready? Is this ready to go? Do I have this on? Yep, let's go. Hey everybody, and I'm like, yeah, I really shouldn't leave that in. So I gotta edit that. And the other problem I'm having is because I have all this recording equipment hooked up to my PlayStation, there's lag. So it's like I'm trying to fix some of the lag problems so the game will be easier for me to play. Anyways, you said Mount Sinai, which I guess I don't really need to... Wait, did you say Mount Sinai or did you say Mount...
No, you got it right, Sinai. Okay.
For some reason I was thinking the other mountain. The one with the boars. I don't know why. Okay, I really don't know where this dog is. Does it say where it is?
Hanging off the edge of the open dead-end area.
Okay. I was gonna say, for some reason in the back of my mind I thought it was outside and I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, if you guys can't tell already, I grabbed all this from an FAQ at some point a while back. I would cite the FAQ that I grabbed it from, but oh wait, hold up. Did I have the information there? No,
Honestly, I think you copied it into a file that you were using.
Yeah, I have it in a file now.
It should be relatively easy to find the list, because I know Suikosource and GameFAQs both have very good lists.
Yeah, no, that's true. I was gonna say, I think it was from Suikosource, because the links that I have in here go back to Suikosource, so...
Yeah, I like Suikosource.
No, they're pretty good, usually.
Okay. This might be a bit of a long video, because I want to get all these recruits in, so... Because my plan here is, once we have 2 more recruits, 2 more dogs, and what I'm gonna do after this video is I'm going to take the time to go and level up all the people that I need to, and make sure that they have, you know, good equipment and good armor, because we're really gonna need it for the end game. So, and this is one of those Suikoden games where you're gonna need a ton of people at the end. Honestly, it's not the worst. In my opinion, I think 5 is the worst when it comes to having to equip way too many people at the end, but I haven't played 5 in forever. I've been really wanting to play it, actually. I was kind of being like, can we just skip 4 and go to 5? But I don't think 5 would be as good if you skip 4.
Well, plus, we need to record all of episode 4 while we're on a cruise ship, apparently.
Yeah. That would be amazing, but I don't think it's going to happen.
That's never going to happen, unfortunately. Unless we record my first playthrough, I don't see how it's going to happen.
Yeah. I think this is the way... I forgot I was supposed to be keeping an eye on Byron. He's still asleep. He will blow himself up, you know, because I've blown up my own party several times in this movie.
So while you're going to be playing through this during the week to level up, I'm probably going to be playing through Spider-Man for PS4. But that's been fun for me. I've been getting to see all the little comic book references and stuff. It's kind of fun seeing characters develop over the course of the game, because you're like, oh, well, I know where some of these plot stories or these arcs are going to end up eventually. Just based on what I know about the characters. It's just kind of fun to watch it all develop as it's going along.
Yeah. I'm actually not playing too many games right now. So obviously, you know, doing this, and I'm trying to get Monster Rancher EVO going. The lag is just killing me. But, and I've been playing Let's Go Eevee. I can't decide if that game is hard or easy. It's like, I can't get past the stupid fact that I can't turn off the experience share. That's just killing me. But I'm not going to talk about that. Yeah, I'm just not playing too much right now. Okay, so I think he's over here. Or not. There he is. Oh! Let's adopt him. Woo! Bye.
There we go.
I can't believe that anyone can find that dog. Like, that's just... I think there's a hint in the game. Like, generally Suikoden will give you hints about where this stuff is. But man...
You say that nobody's going to find it, but like, after doing all 900 Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild, some of those seeds are in really obscure locations. And people have managed to find all 900 of them before the DLC came out that provided a mask that gave you radar abilities to know when you were near one.
Oh man.
And so literally the people had to not just be in the vicinity of it to be able to see it, but they had to get up to it and confirm that it was there. Which, like, a lot of those don't even appear until you're on top of it. So it'll be like, there's one on top of the highest peak, or there's one on top of just a random peak. So you had to go on top of all of the random peaks to be able to see if one of them happened to have something.
You know, it's funny, now that I'm older and I, you know, play these games, I kind of come to a point in the game, it's like, do I really feel a sense of achievement or accomplishment for doing this kind of stuff? Mm-hmm. And I'm finding the answer is generally no.
Yeah. Well, and I agree with you on that. Like, 9 times out of 10, a game throws something like the Korok seeds at me, and I'm going to be like, nope, no. In fact, hell no. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild was different for me, at least, because the Korok seeds gave me a valid excuse just to play the game more. And I was just loving the game, and it was just so much fun just to run around and play that game that I didn't care. It was just that it was basically a chore. That wasn't the point. The point was the experience of just doing it. It was the journey.
How I am. That's how I am about these Papa Louie games. For anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, there's a company, well, not really a company, I don't know what you would call it, a game creator called Flipline Studios, and they originally started with Flash games online, so you can go online and play their Flash games for free. I highly recommend them if you like time management games. But they, because Flash is pretty much dead by this point, they've been doing they've been porting all their games to the iPad and iPhone. And they're not free, but they're definitely worth like the $3 or something ridiculous. But it's funny because those games, like, there's some pretty psychotic achievements in my opinion. But it's funny because I feel like one day I might actually get all the achievements on one of these games because I just love playing them so much. In fact, one of the achievements I didn't even know how to do, and I did it by accident one day, and I'm like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. But it was really funny because I was just like, because most of their games are like restaurant games, like you run a pizza restaurant or you run a pancake restaurant where you just serve pancakes and waffles and stuff. And one of the achievements was to serve a very specific person as soon as he walked in. I'm like, yeah, but how do you know what to serve them, and how do you know they're gonna walk in? And so one day I was playing and I accidentally gave him the wrong order. He walked up and I gave him somebody else's order, and it still gave me the achievement for serving him, even though he was really angry because I gave him completely something he didn't order. And I'm like, well, that's okay, I still got the achievement. I cheesed him off, but I still got it. But yeah, I love those games. I think my favorite one, out of all the restaurant games they make, my favorite one is the donut one, but it's ironically one of the only ones not on the iPad at this point. And I'm like, dang it. But out of all their games they've ever made, my favorite is Jack Smith, where you run, you're this donkey guy, and you're just a blacksmith. And you have this trailer, and you're following all of the warriors, and the warriors are out trying to save a princess, I think. I'm not actually sure, I can't remember. But the nice thing about this game is, so a warrior will walk up and say, I want a sword. But the thing I love about the game is you get to decide what sword to give him and what to make. So not only do you have to make the sword, but you have to have all the parts to make the sword, and you actually have to do like the actual making of the sword. And it's a time management game, so while you're trying to make the first sword, other people walk up and be like, well, I want an axe, I want a shield, and so it's time management because you got to be making multiple weapons at once, and you got to make sure that you make them all well. So I strongly recommend that type of game. If you guys like time management games, I highly recommend it. And like I said, it's the Flash versions on, like, I think it's flipline.com. They're all free, but anyways, where's the last one is in the... unfortunately, I think the last one is where we're supposed to be going.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to be a problem because we haven't initiated the conversation. Ancient Highway. But yeah, on those Papa Louie games with the restaurant, I like to every so often, like, Helper thinks it's hilarious to serve ridiculous food to these people. Like, one of my favorite things to do is on the taco game, where you make these tacos, is to literally get a taco shell and just put a raw slab of beef in it. It just looks like, instead of like cooking it and chopping up the steak, it looks like you just threw a raw T-bone steak into a taco shell and handed it to the person. It cracks me up every time. Of course, then I reload because I don't want to like really make them mad. It doesn't make a difference, but I still feel bad giving them a raw slab of beef. It just looks hilarious. And then it looks even funnier when you put things on it like sour cream, because you just got this raw slab of beef with sour cream on it and you hand it to them.
It makes no sense.
You know what I've never tried, and I'm gonna try right after this, is to like go to the pancake one, pour the batter on, and immediately serve it. I was like, can I just serve them raw batter? I've never even tried.
What was I?
Now
I played
really
some little game on my iPhone at some point, and it was the only thing you did was serve fried, like pan-fried fish to people. That was literally all it was. And you could buy more burners so that you could make multiple fish at once. But originally you just started with one burner, but you had to time it right, like to flip it and stuff. So you had to be like watching it carefully to know when to flip it.
Yeah.
And
okay, real quick, I'm gonna interject here. Which way do I go? Is it left or middle? I can't remember.
Oh, you know which direction I'm going to tell you to go.
Left. I'm pretty sure. Unless I'm totally off base, I think he's in the leftmost corner. But you know what? It's been so long, I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, go ahead, fish.
No, anyway, so you had to like pick the right type of fish to serve them. You know, it's a clownfish, it's a normal fish, it's a polluted fish. They just had all sorts of weird fish to serve. And then, like, the god of all fried fish was a giant cat, and he would come to help you out occasionally. And so you had to please him by serving up more and more fresh fish, or, you know, fried fish. And it was just a bizarre little game.
Okay, he's not here.
His tail is visible in the upper right corner of that area. Now go back where you were.
So
His tail should be visible in the upper right corner of this area.
there
somewhere.
it is. I could have swore he was in this spot. Yeah, he's standing up and dancing. I always thought this one was so weird.
Yeah, talk about not being able to see anything.
He turns around, I remembered that.
So weird.
This just makes my day.
I mean, they programmed this in.
I love this one. I can't stop looking at it. It's so weird.
It feels like there needs to be a GIF of this.
Oh my gosh, I wish I could make a GIF of this and make it my icon on Slack at work, you know?
The dogs.
I've already had some... I've had a few icons at work for my picture, but the one everyone always really likes is the one from... I have a Yellow Submarine one that people always really like, so I always end up going back to it. I don't think most of you, if any of you, have seen the movie, The Yellow Submarine.
The Beatles movie.
But there's a scene in the Sea of Monsters where the submarine actually smiles at the school of fish. And, or should I say, the school of whales. And,
Pot of whales.
no, it's a joke because it's a school of fish. And then one of them goes, they look too old to be from school. And they go, University of Wales. Which is a joke because it's Wales, you know, anyways, British. But yeah, there's a scene where the submarine smiles, and so that's the picture I have at work. And apparently everyone really likes it, even though, like, I think only 3 people even know what it's from. Or have actually seen the movie. I know one of my coworkers has seen it because they were like, that is very you, because it's my favorite movie. So they were like, it's very you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Explains a lot about you.
Yeah, I think... I'm pretty sure you showed me the movie at some point.
Oh, I know I did. In fact, I remember when Helper and I were dating, I showed him that I had the original VHS from the 60s. And no,
Well,
I'm not
well-
that old. My parents gave it to me.
Well, I was going to say,
And,
VHS wasn't around in the 60s.
Oh, good point. So it was like, I guess, I mean, but it was the first release of the VHS, whenever it was.
Sure.
But it's old. And so, like, I told him, and I said, I really want you to watch it, but my VHS is really on its last leg because I've watched it so many times. He actually found out it was on DVD, so he went and got me a copy of it on DVD. Oh my god, everyone hated him for it because it's all I did. I just watched the crud out of it. And what even amazed me more was the DVD had a deleted scene. And so I, like, freaked out. And so, like, my roommate wanted to kill him because, like, I watched it, like, a million times. And then, in fact, my roommate even stole it because she was so sick of me listening to it.
Huh.
And and she did give it back eventually, but, and then it was funny because then it came out on Blu-ray.
I was
and
gonna
got
say.
the Blu-ray copy.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, it's on Blu-ray.
Oh no, I have the Blu-ray copy, and I have the iTunes copy too.
Oh, so I think I told you, my birthday was last week, and...
Yes. You didn't tell me that, but I knew it.
Yeah, you knew that, but I think I told you about one of the gifts I got, though. So one of the gifts I received was Star Trek The Next Generation on Blu-ray.
Oh, you were telling me that you couldn't get, what's his face on Blu-ray?
Deep Space Nine, yeah, I told that story on, I think,
Yeah.
on one of the recordings. Anyway, so I got Next Generation on Blu-ray. It's all 7 seasons. Each
Oh my gosh.
disc has something like, 4 episodes on it, or 3 episodes on it, maybe?
Yeah.
So there's like,
I own them.
yeah, so there's like 6 discs per season. So I've been ripping all of my discs into Plex, which I use to kind of, it's kind of like your personal Netflix type thing. You know what it is, just for the viewers.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I go to pull all the discs out so I can start ripping them, and I start stacking them onto a CD spindle that I have, and then I keep stacking, and keep stacking, and
Yeah.
I think it's like a 50 disc spindle, and it basically topped it up. I mean, like it's like 3, like it's a number of discs like equal to this like width of my fist, basically.
Yeah,
Like
it's a lot.
It's a lot of
Don't
discs.
forget, when you're ripping, I don't know why I'm telling you this now on the recording, but make sure you get the extended version of Measure of a Man, because it's an amazing episode.
Interesting. There's an extended version.
Yes, I think it was, I don't remember her first name, Melissa Snodgrass, one of the writers.
Okay.
They had a much longer version of A Measure of a Man, and they had recorded the whole thing, and it was too long, and so it was one of her first episodes, if not her first episode, I think. So she asked for the original copy as a keepsake on VHS, and she had it this entire time. And they found out about it when they were doing the remake of the Blu-ray, and so they asked for it as, can we have it to, it's lower quality than a lot of other stuff because, it was just for her keepsake. And so they actually have the original edit of Measure of a Man, and I highly recommend it because there are parts of the episode that suddenly make a heck of a lot more sense. Well, and it really frustrated me at one point because there was a scene they really should have kept a different one instead.
Well, so without spoiling the episode, which one is it? Because I've seen them all. I've watched the entire series through before.
Oh, Measure of a Man. It's the episode where they decide if Data is a sentient person or not.
Gotcha. Okay, I know which one you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, but there's one scene in particular in the episode where most people have seen it, where Riker is standing in front of his computer and he's like looking at the computer trying to prove whether or not, Data is real, and he's all like, oh yeah, oh no, oh man, that's gonna prove that he's really a machine, and he's all like making all these faces, and that's like his whole scene. But what they don't show, and it's in the extended version, is there's a scene where Picard is sitting down with Data talking to Data, trying to prove that he is sentient and, he should be real. And that scene has so many good lines. And it's like, why on earth did you not use the Picard scene and use the stupid Riker scene? Because Riker's just sitting there making faces, and that's all his half of the scene. But it suddenly makes more sense, because I always thought that scene kind of felt odd. But it's two sides of the coin there, because, you're seeing what Picard's doing to prepare, and then you see what Riker's doing to prepare, and for some reason, they only kept Riker's side. I'm like, gosh darn it, stupid Riker.
Oh man,
but
Riker
anyway.
was easily my favorite character in that entire series. I mean, easily.
Anyway,
really,
I don't
was
know
anyone
why
better
we kept
acted?
this on the recording, but
better acting,
there you go, guys.
More action-packed, so dynamic. He was a ladies' man. Just such a great character.
I mean, I don't know why I bothered to keep this on the recording, but anyways, we're gonna end it here. I apologize, guys. I love that episode. Like, it's one of those few episodes of any TV show that really got me thinking about a lot of things, and I love that episode. So when I saw that one had an extended version, I flipped out.
Well, and anyways, Data is your favorite character too.
Yeah. But we'll see you guys next time. So like I said, my plan here is to go and level up a bunch of people, make sure they're well equipped. And because this is kind of going to be a gauntlet here at the end, and I want to make sure that we're not like way unprepared like we have been most of this LP. So, anyways, we'll see you guys next time when we storm the ruins, even though we were just there. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.